Cody, go back. Good! Good dog! That is a good dog!
Hillbilly girl, just as sweet as wine.
Go back. Good. Go back. Go back. Good dog!
Like a muscadine.
Good dog! Very good! Cody, go back. Good dog! Good! Good girl! That's a good girl! Oh, good! Good, Dig. Good dog! Good dog! A little fun. Good! Okay. All right, we're gonna kind of build off of what we did yesterday and the day before. I actually watched 2 days ago on YouTube as Ben loaded it up yesterday. I don't watch very many of them just because I don't have a lot of time, but I watched that one and I liked what I saw. I think it was interesting perspective for me when I watch some of those things. I pick up on really little things and it's valuable for me. And I'm talking about real small things, like when I sent her from that corner on a blind and her head swung into this middle decoys. That was a distraction of hers, and I still sent her, and immediately she faded. And so I even said in the video, I said, I shouldn't have sent her. Those are things that, you know, you think about them at the moment. Watching them a little bit later helped me. It's probably going to help sink in for me and remind me of it going forward. It also brought up some things. We put more decoys out. So we set a little group of decoys there, a group of decoys there, a group of decoys there. The decoys seemed to throw her a little bit off. And it was some suction. She was drawn to them. She had a hard time pushing through them sometimes. So what I decided to do is let's put some more out, be more realistic from a hunting standpoint, but also serve as distractions or things that are going to take away from or make her focus on the job at hand to get through it. So I think we need to challenge her with that. And I'm going to build off of what we did yesterday and the day before. We did in that brown area, we did some really simple baseball stuff. Home base, first, second, third, pitcher's mounts type stuff. The second day maybe was even simpler than the first day. I thought she did very well with it. I'm going to show you, I think we're going to try, it's a drill that it's not really set up like a baseball diamond, but it is another drill that's involves some movement on her part and my part. I'm going to work on that. We're going to need this bigger area. The grass is a little tall for it. I prefer it to be a little bit shorter, but I think we're going to be able to do it. I'm going to set that up, but I'm not going to do it to start out with. And the reason I'm not going to do it to start out with is because we just added another, I don't know, 12 decoys, and we spread them out on purpose to make these pockets. It's not for hunting, it's for training, to get her to have to work, navigate through them, and not necessarily think. I think I've seen it before at game farms and late in the season. Let's say a pheasant farm, late in the season, and all of a sudden they're out of cover, they don't have cover, so they put a bunch of Christmas trees out. And I've seen this with dogs where there's piles of Christmas trees, and then they tuck the birds under the Christmas trees, and the dogs get really smart really quick, and all they do is run from pile of Christmas trees to pile of Christmas trees, and they flush it, they get rewarded, they flush a bird, or they catch the bird in there. So I don't want her to start thinking they're always in these little pockets of decoys. I want her to focus on the drills that we're doing where we're giving her memories, we're giving her lines, we're giving her direction in which areas and where she should hunt and how she should hunt it, and not necessarily get sucked into the idea of decoy, 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 go check every one of them. So that's part of why we're doing it. So before I run that drill where we're going to be a little more involved with walking and hand signals, and I'll show it to you, before we do that, I want her comfortable in this area because I just think all these little decoys could really create a lot of issues for this drill, and it's a new drill. So backing up from that, what I'm going to do is We're gonna replicate some of the stuff she struggled with yesterday. We're gonna do some other things. Ben threw a blind out for me as we were coming out. It's on the other side of that fence. That's a memory blind. We send her to that blind quite often. He put one out a little bit further than normal. When she jumps the fence, it's not gonna be right there. It's actually in the cover a little bit beyond, and she's gonna have to hunt. We're gonna work to that memory at some point. But what I wanted to start out with was the other thing she struggled with. This is not handling stuff. This is just stuff that's come up in the drills that we've been doing, is her ability to work through and engage some distance. So last night I was out here, I used a dummy launcher. I set up 3 long trailing memories beyond the cut, beyond the planted area, in that cover. Way in that cover, probably 25 yards into that cover. It's tall grass, it's about this tall. I threw 3 feathered bumpers in there, and then I heeled her back, and I brought her back to this corner, and I sent her into it. And then what I did was, and she ran it, she nailed it, perfect, 3, boom, boom, boom. Then I took the dummy launcher and I fired a shot, and I know with the red 22 shell, or with the red load, at about that angle, because I did it with Taylor and we did it with Ben yesterday with his dog, we launched it and it went beyond and into that cover, and that was a challenging thing for a dog to work through all of this and then push into the cover and hunt and bring it back. And so I did that with her, following 3 trailing memories that I knew would be in about the same area. The dummy launcher was a little bit longer, I think, but she hunted it and she found it and brought it back. I'm gonna start today with that. So we're gonna head back over here. The difference today that we've done is I haven't set this up with a trailing memory. So I don't want you to think that I just do this out of nowhere. This is a pretty long mark for her. Yesterday you saw her struggle with the marking. Her distances were off. So I'm going to set that up. So I forgot my dummy launcher. Ben went and grabbed it. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna reset this now. I think it's important for you to realize I'm not doing this to start out. This is an extension of last night, and it's not necessarily an extension of yesterday morning. It's a building off of yesterday morning, because yesterday morning we launched dummies this way. Beyond the shortest group of decoys, there was only 1 group of decoys at that time. And we had a feathered bumper that was just beyond it. She picked that one no problem, and then she had a little bit of a hard time pushing out beyond, and she had a little bit of a struggle hunting one of these with very little scent in the cover that's a little bit taller and covered this up clearly. So we got through it. What it did for me was it opened up my eyes to, let's work on some marking, a little bit better job of marking. We also did some stuff where we changed directions a little bit. Today we're changing it completely. We're 180 degrees. So we're gonna send through the decoys that are close to us instead of sending them at a distance. We're gonna have her run through these close, which should be easier for her. She shouldn't mistake the idea that this thing falls short like that. But the other thing I'm doing is I'm working off of last night's 3 trailing memories, long into that cover, and she did very well with them. 1, 2, 3, boom, 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 no problem, ran out, hunted them, picked them. Now this is gonna have a little bit of scent on it, less scent than those feathered dummies, but I did put some stick scent onto it this morning. But I'm gonna launch it, and the reason I know it is gonna go to that distance is I did this yesterday with Taylor for the first time and sent her on this mark and just had her make that pick. So I know that that's about the distance that it's gonna go. These are pretty consistent. Obviously, depending on how you hold it, will make a big difference with the angles. But so I'm gonna shoot one, and this is gonna go quite a ways. And we're gonna be asking her to watch the whole time. Now we're on and off. Good. Good. Put the lead on her again this morning, just because yesterday she did a lot better coming out with the lead on. I think her focus was a lot better. Sit. So we're starting out today, very different order of what we have been. And I think that's going to be one of the variations we do today to mix things. Now, that could prove to be a little more challenging. because it's nowhere near where I shot it yesterday. Yesterday it was to the left 60 yards. It was to the left completely of that mound. So this one, and this one's, I know it's on the other side there, it's a bunch of pine trees. So we'll see how she does on this. Now the mark is going to be real important, and the line is going to be real important for her. Heel. Cody. Go back. Go back. So what does she do? She goes to a spot she's used to. I can tell already we're going to get into trouble here. Come on. Come on. Good. Good. Here. 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 So I'm not even going to try to push her through it. Come on. I'm going to go and help her. We're going to find it, and then we're going to repeat it. And this is all my mistake. I shot the thing in completely the wrong area to where I wanted to. But it's very realistic. So I wouldn't send her. I don't think she's going to make this. There's just too many obstacles for her to get through. Heel. So I'm going to cut the distance about in half, and that'll essentially cut some of the obstacles out of it too. Now it's clear she didn't mark it very well. Her line wasn't real good. Her distance was clearly not good. We cut the distance about in half. It's up and over those trees, and there's pines over there. It's a bunch of pines that are, grown with grass that's chest high. So this won't be easy. What I'm afraid, what I want her to do is the angle where that field is. I anticipate her wanting to go with it, hit the edge of it and go with it. Maybe even hunt that pile of cover that she's found dummies in before. I need to be aware of that, and if she does it, I need to stop her and get her back into that cover. But let's try it. Go back. See where she goes? No! Here. 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 Cut the distance. It's a tough angle for any dog. Cody, go back. Here, here. Come on now. You can hear my frustration because I'm a little pissed off at myself right now. Why did I start this session out this way? Cody, go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Here, 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 here. Here, here. Oh, that's a good dog! And I'm an asshole! Good girl! Good girl! I'm so pissed off because she's not pushing in deep enough, and here she's on it. Oh, that's a good dog! Oh, I hate when you get up because your dad does it, but I'm gonna let you. Sit. So, her dad will recognize that. She likes to get up on top of him, put her paws up on him. I can't stand it. That was a lot of excitement for me, and she went, well, we'll give it a shot. Good dog. Dead. Dead. Heel. Now, I didn't even think that's where it was. I thought it would be 30 yards further in there. So, let's regroup here, because at this point, we gotta make something good out of it, which that was pretty good. She got excited about me getting excited. I was surprised. Sit. So I'm gonna let her kind of regroup here for a second. Now, the angle was really difficult when you look back at what she had to go through. So, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw it where I thought it was. Heel. I'm gonna do similar to what we did last night, which was set up as trailing memories and then go to a fired shot. Now, if I had done what I thought if I had done it the way I wanted to do it and shot it in line there, I think she'd have had some success. But because it was it was a bad shot. It was off way to the right. Now we went and tried to figure out how to get her to find success, and she did, despite me. So we're gonna try to use that, piggyback off of that. The toughest part about this is the angle, getting into the woods. Natural tendency to get sucked right along the edge. It's also a natural draw right to that chunk of cover, because we've used this area a lot before, and that's always where not always, but oftentimes where we've put dummies. So I'm gonna send her and see how she does on this. I expect it to be much better. Trailing memories, this is the value of a trailing memory, to set things up and teach and understand to push through and adding distance. So we're gonna have her do that. And then if she does it well, then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna fire the dummy where I wanted to and see if I can't get her to pick that without help. And that was basically set up yesterday. The help was yesterday with the 3 trailing memories and then the fired shot. Now, her head is to the right. Heel. Not bad, but enough. Cody. As soon as her line looks good, that's when I need to send her, not when I want to send her. So now she hits it like we want her to the first time, every time, but that takes time to get to. That takes a lot of practice. Good dog. Good dog. Now, that was deeper than where she found it last time, so I had a lot of confidence that she's gonna nose that one out. It wasn't in the exact same spot. That's what took her a little while. Here. That's what we need her to do, is realize we're gonna get her into an area. In hindsight, so I'm frustrated at myself earlier, but in what I'm happy about was the way we took her and put her into a general area, which this goes back to, I don't field trial, so I don't really care about how it would be scored or how people would be judging it. I really care about how many birds we put in the bag. So if I can get her into a general area and have her do what she does best, which is game find, that's my goal as a trainer. I don't want to, I can't, she's not going to wind it over here. If it's over there and she hunts short and she fades to cover, or she gets distracted by decoys, or she just can't push deep enough into cover, if those things hang her up, I can't get her in the general area. What I need to do is be able to get her in the general area and let her hunt. So that's what we did there, was we got her into the general area, but it was still another 30 yards, 20 yards beyond where she picked the first one, probably 20. And she probably worked that area. It took her a minute to work the area, work the area, work the area. Similar to how she worked the area, worked the area, worked the area, and all of a sudden, boom, picked it up the first time. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shoot another dummy launcher. I really wanna get her improved on her marking and her ability to understand some watching and getting close to the area on her own without needing much help from me. And it's a little difficult to do that by yourself. Watch. That's about right where I wanted it. I could have used it a little to the right, maybe, if I want to get picky, but so it is in a different spot than it was the last dummy launch, and it was in a different spot than she just picked up that trailing memory. So will she be able to adjust her line? Will she be able to push into that cover? Her habitual things will be get through the decoys without hanging up. I don't think she'll have a problem. Those decoys are pretty close. She knows it's beyond that. The question will be, does she hunt that pocket of cover right there? Does she hunt that pocket of cover right there? Or does she push through? And I'm gonna give her a chance to push through. And then if I have to help her push through, I will, but my hope is that I don't have to help her. And my hope is that it goes back to yesterday's memory that we set up with 3 trailing memories and then a mark. Cody, go back. Go back. Go back. The first barrier hung her up a little. Go back. She's in the second barrier, hung her up a little. Go back. So she was in that cover. I don't know if she's in that cover. Oh, she's beyond it. She's in the thick cover, and now she's hunting at it. Good dog. Good dog. So her line there was actually very good. She did not cheat it. She didn't go around the grass. Good. Good girl. Did. Good girl. She didn't cheat that finger of grass. She went right through it. She did hang up a little bit. That was a mental barrier more than a physical. Here. The physical part made it mentally hard for her to get through. So she got through it, but you saw her hang up and check. And just double check. Dad, should I keep going? Sent her back. She took the back real well. And she pushed through. And then I don't know if she hung up or not. Maybe she didn't hang up in that pocket, because I saw her work a little bit, but I think now that I think about it, she might have been past it anyway. That time she ran that just beautifully. So that was what we were looking to do on the first one. She's shedding. That's what we were looking to do on the first one. And so let's do that. Let's change this. Let's go one more, and let's shoot one back into where the first one was. And then we've got two marked spots there off the fire here that are actually relatively close angles. I mean, that's not a real wide angle. It's separated by that cover chunk, but they're pretty tight. You. Heel. Sit. Watch. That one down to the right as well. That one could prove to be a little more challenging as well. Cody, go back. Good. Now she took a line very well. She went right in where the last one was. This one is to the right, so this is going to be a lot of nose work for her. But the nice part about it right now, I feel, is I've gotten her into the area. She's close to the area of fall. Now it's let her nose work. And this is where there's got to be some trust on my end too. I have to trust she's going to be able to get in there. I got to keep an eye out, because if she comes out and checks for me, which she's right on the edge right now, if she checks, I got to handle her. I'm going to have to handle her to the right. Because it's real likely that she's hunting that area that she picked those last two up in there. And this is going to have to take a little bit of a, she's going to have to get that way just a little bit. Good dog. Very good. Good girl. That's a good dog. Good dog. Good girl. Good dog. Did. Now, so that's how we're gonna start out. Some long marks. I'm gonna set this over here so I'm not carrying so much weight. Sit. So that was a really good way to build off of my mess up with the initial setup. Let's leave those right there for now. Now, let's go to, I'm gonna move her into, so we work on a little bit of marking. Now we're gonna work into a little bit of handling. There wasn't any handling in there. There's a little bit of back. We sent her back a couple times. Let's bring her over here. Heel. I'm gonna show you how we're gonna, actually what I'm gonna do now, before I handle, because I want her to get used to this field, is I'm just gonna set up a circle memory in here. And let's do this. We'll set it up as a circle memory. We'll go one down to the corner here. Heel. I am gonna slip the lead on her. She's not that far out of position, but I do think she focuses a lot better with it on. Heel. The other part about her stretching out here just on these long marks is we got her wind up a little bit. She's panting a little bit. This is good conditioning for her to have to think now when she's tired. We've been having her think. She's been thinking, but she's been not real tired, and she really excels then. Heel. It's when she starts to get tired that she struggles a little bit up here mentally. Now I'm going to take her, I'm going to walk the perimeter here, we're going to go behind this. This is where we usually would put one, we're not going to. Drop one in here. Right in the wide open. She doesn't pick a lot of them up in the wide open either. So we got to keep her honest to the idea that it doesn't always have to be in cover. Then we're going to come into here, and again we'll put one in here. Bring her back around. Now, the idea of this is it's a simple circle memory. I may handle her a little bit with it, in it, and set it up similar to how we did the baseball over there. It's just in a new spot. There's a ton of decoys compared to what she's used to. So those can become distracting. So I've got 1, 2, and 3, bunch of decoys in between. And we're gonna pick them pretty clean here. I'm not gonna complicate it much. I want her to get an understanding of these spots that have retrieves for her. Heel. I'm gonna line right through the group of decoys. Cody. Go back. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Just get her used to running through there. Good. And focusing on her job. Did. Good girl. Heel. Heel. I'm going to come this way. We're not going to handle it all. Heel. Heel. Cody, go back, go back, go back, go back. Good girl. Good dog. Kind of faded. Good dog. That was the decoys getting in the way. And that was her old habit of running short. Good girl. Did. Good dog. So that was just that me pushing her, go back, was reassuring to her, don't drift, don't stop, don't hunt, go. And once she got past these decoys, you really could see she changed a gear because she went, oh yeah, I remember it, and I'm gonna forget about these things. Come on. Good. Sit down. Good. Just threw one out to the left. Similar to our baseball drill, just in a different spot. Go back. Good girl. Good girl. Good dog. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Dude. These are just chances for her to make good decisions, Heel. Get out. Good. Good. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. A little bit of her bad habit of coming in and swooping. It's because we're not really set up clearly. We're asking her to make really crisp decisions in an area that there's a lot of openness. There's a lot of distractions with stuff, decoys, new decoys, all that. There's different things that all of a sudden from a crisp 90 degree, it becomes a little bit archy. So we got to practice in this, and I'm okay with that. We got success out of it. I want to practice it more so it becomes crisp and it becomes turn and go instead of in and then go. She kind of followed me in and out. I want her to get out. And so it started out that way with lines before when we had edges to help us. And then she got crisp. Now we're gonna start it out. Cody, go back, go back, go back, go back. Good girl. Good girl. You can just tell by her pace when she's confident and knows where it is, or she's just going because you said to go. Good dog. You can tell she's getting a little more comfortable as she runs a little closer to decoys and splits decoys. Very good. You can tell she's getting a little tired, which is mentally a little fatiguing because it's physically fatiguing. Good. Good. Heel. Now, I think I'm going to cut it off. I think I'm going to be happy with that. I'd like to continue to push on, and I'd like to do some walking stuff, some mobile drills with the handling. But quite honestly, I feel like we accomplished enough here today in this session to be done. New areas, new distractions, new setups, success, success, success. And even with my initial mistake in the first setup. So we need those mistakes sometimes to learn from, both her and I. So I'm going to be done with it. I think it's a good session. I think it's a positive session. I'll replicate probably some of this stuff tonight. Ben won't be here, but I won't do anything new. I'll probably practice this again. And then the following day, it'll be that much better because she's going to get another repetition of it. She's going to see it again. The more she sees, the better she gets, the more reactive she gets. And then we can start switching scenarios and locations and some of the setup stuff slowly and continually and get the same behavior, get the same response, get the same end result when we get there. So I think that's gonna be it for today. All right, we were done, we've wrapped up, we decided to kind of end it. And I just remembered, I was thinking through my head, did I forget anything? We set a blind up when we started, memory blind. It's one that we've run before, we've ended sessions with it. So I'm gonna send her on it. We're gonna be shorter, I usually send her longer. We're gonna be a little shorter, but she has no idea of it. But I'm gonna show you, my hope is that it's like riding a bike for her, and she just goes, oh yeah, I remember we do this. He sends me out, I run, and I find stuff. The difference is it's not just over the fence. She'll probably hunt that area and go, it's not here. She's gonna have to use her nose. It's a little bit beyond. Cody, Cody, go back, go back, go back. There's a hesitation. Good, good. There's where she's gonna hunt and go, I don't see it like I usually do. She should get wind of it somewhere in here. Good. Good. Looks like she caught a little bit of scent there. She should be running over it, shouldn't she?
From the beams. side of it, like right there. Should be right on top of it.
There, she's got wind. Sit! 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 I want her to sit! Sit down! Sit! 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 So what I'm trying to get clear to her is she has to listen. She didn't respond to the stop whistle. She started returning with it. I told her stop, 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 and she just assumed I'm good. So you heard my tone get up, and she didn't respond very well to it. So I'm going to work on that, but I'm going to make her think about it for a second here and go, oh, just because I have a dummy in my mouth doesn't mean that I don't have to listen anymore. Good. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Come on. Good. Good. Good girl. Come on. Come on. Very good. So that's one of those times when you have to be able to be on and off with her, as far as, like, I was pissed and she knew it and she didn't respond until she did respond, and when she did, I told her, good, that's what you need to do. So you have to be a little bit split personality with them. When they do it right, let them know. Be nice to them. When they don't do it right, let them know. Be firm about it. I think a lot of people are afraid to firm up to the point of getting a change. I was about to walk to her and pick her up and put her back on the spot, because if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I can't allow her to become so comfortable that she just decides, I can kind of do what I want to do. Stop to the whistle means stop to the whistle. For all she knows, there's a car coming. And stop to the whistle means sit down or you're going to get hit by a car. So I can't have it be, nah, I don't think so, not this time. It has to be every time. So it started with her kind of denying the sit to the whistle when she caught wind of the dummy. I wanted to stop her because I knew that area, I knew the dummy was there. I wanted to stop her, give her a hunt command. She caught wind of it and just blew right through my whistle to pick it up. Well, what if I wanted her to go over here? Or what if I wanted her to come to me? What if I wanted her to do something different? She can't just assume she's right and make decisions on her own. But when she does do the right thing, you better let her know too. So that's it. We'll wrap it up. It's a real good session, something to build on.